Putin shocked. Ukraine lists 4 main factors to destroy Putin's plan in war. The advisor to the president of Ukraine said that the location of the country's talks with Russia is based on 4 factors, all of which are related to weapons. To discuss with Russia, it is important to have the right place to talk. This consists of 4 simple elements. 1. Long-range artillery, MLRS, multiple launch rocket system, and ATACMS, system military tactical name system, to destroy Russian logistics. 2. Air and missile defense systems to protect cities. 3. Attack drones, good hunters. 4. Armored vehicle to respond to the work, Mr. Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to the president of Ukraine, said on August 4. After meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin last week, former German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder said that Putin was ready to resume diplomatic talks with Ukraine. Schröder said Russia and Ukraine reached an agreement on grain that could gradually pave the way for a ceasefire between the 2 countries. However, Mr. Podolyak denied the claim. The advisor to the president of Ukraine said that if Russia wants to start a conversation, Russia must first cease fire and withdraw its troops from Ukraine, and then have constructive conversations. Earlier, in early July, Mr. Podolyak also set forth conditions to achieve harmony with Russia, including, Russia must withdraw its troops from Ukraine, recognize the ownership of Ukraine, return prisoners, and defend a mechanism. Often war. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on August 3 that Russia was ready for a peace agreement with Ukraine, and that Kiev could bridge the conflict at any time by accepting Moscow's conditions. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is skeptical of Russia's claims about the possibility of connected talk. Zelensky said that, if Russia really wanted to end the war, it would not have gathered reserves in southern Ukraine at this time. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said on August 4 that Russia's announcements about the resumption of peace talks were just a blinding measure to prolong the war. Mr. Kuleba said that Russia is still focusing its resources on the conflict in Ukraine. The Russian-Ukrainian war has tended to escalate recently, and the southern Ukrainian front has begun to heat up again with Kiev's responses. Ukraine began a strong response campaign in the southern cities after receiving more heavy weapons from the west. Efforts aimed at declaring the Russian-Ukrainian conflict informed through conversations have so far reached an impasse when the 2 sides could not find common ground. At a round of talks in March in Turkey, Kiev proposed an agreement on security commitments for Ukraine, in return for which the country would accept the establishment. However, the Russian limit later reported that Ukraine withdrew the proposal. Russia announced that the military campaign will only end when Kiev responds to the conditions set by Moscow, including a commitment to permanent neutrality, recognition of Russia's Crimea Peninsula, recognition of independence for the Donbass region, accompanied by territorial separatist territories of Donetsk and Lugansk. Meanwhile, limited Ukraine repeatedly decided never territory.